A few weeks ago, I saw a video on TikTok about a hair tool that could leave my hair looking like this from wet in just a few minutes. Without a question, I went out and bought it because I can't afford a Dyson Airwrap and I've been loving the blowout look. So I went to JB Hi-Fi and I got it for $135, which is a little bit less than normal. It usually is around $150, so that was very, very exciting. It has taken me a few weeks to play with it and figure out what is the best way to use it. I think I'm pretty happy with this purchase. Wait for this because I'm going to show you how many attachments I actually use, which attachments I would say stay away from. They don't work, or at least they're not easy to work with. Once I took it to my home, I went ahead, play with all of the attachments. I wanted to see how they work, how they were supposed to be used, if I liked them, if I didn't. I had really high expectations for the curling one. That was the main attachment, really, why I bought this set. And I'm going to say stay away from that one. It doesn't really work. It's a good idea, but it doesn't really perform well. I tried to use it in the cool setting to see if I could curl my hair to avoid damage, and even though you really can, you could do it, it's going to take forever. It took so long and it wasn't really completely set and it wasn't really completely dry, so I would say that's a no for me. The blow dryer nozzle is absolutely useless. This device has not enough potency to use that as a hair dryer, so don't waste your time with that. Go straight in with the brush. Of course, my hair is dry. I washed my hair yesterday and I styled it yesterday with this tool as well. So this is how my hair looks on my second day. You can see that I still have some waves, I still have some shapes. So even if I wanted, I could just style my fringe and get out of my house. I would not have to do anything else. That's why I love this so much. But also I could style it again and it's going to take me just a few minutes. The first thing I would do is wait until my hair is 90% dry. If you don't have time to wait, then I would use this paddle brush tool to help dry my hair until it's 90% dry. I will always go upwards, then I will go ahead and switch to the second attachment. So of course this depends on what you want to do with your hair. If you only want to dry your hair and have it smooth with no frizz, something like that, then you only have to use this attachment and maybe you can touch up with this at the end. I will show you later how this one works. If you want it smooth and you want a little bit of movement but not this much, then go ahead and use the big head as your second attachment. But the way that I like to use it is going with this one as my second attachment. This is my favorite, most used attachment of them all. I love it. So go ahead with this one. I think that is so much easier when you section your hair, especially when it's wet. I find that when I try to do it without sectioning my hair, it was very messy. So this is just what works for me. If you find that you can do it without sectioning, then go ahead. I divide it in half and then start layering from the bottom up. So the first layer is just going to be one section and you're going to start brushing your hair until it is completely dry. Make sure that your roots are dry as well. And when it's dry completely, then you're going to roll from the ends a little bit further than half, but don't go up to the roots. As soon as you wrap the ends, you want to turn off the hair dryer and you're going to turn it back on until the first speed, which is full speed but with cold air. This is going to take a little bit of time until it goes cold, but that's going to help set your hair and make it last so much longer. Once your hair is cold, a few seconds is enough. Just unroll the brush and let your hair go and move on to the second section. Now for the second layer, I am going to start dividing the hair in sections. The first one is going to be the back one, and I'm going to pin the rest because here is where it starts to get messy. It's not complicated if you pin it, but it might be a little bit complicated if you don't pin it. You're going to do exactly the same thing, but now you're going to start alternating the directions on which you curl. The idea is that you're not doing all the curls in the same direction, because otherwise you're just going to have a flick in the end or one big curl instead of having that blowout effect. So literally you just need to continue doing this until you reach the top. When I get to this part, when my hair is wet, I have very curly hair there, so that's when I use this device. I use it on the straightening version because if you twist the top, you can use it to uplift your roots. So just put it in that position and then you're just going to straighten the roots. I really suggest that you do this quickly because the air can be pretty hot. I only need a few passes to make my hair straight there, so it doesn't bother me, but make sure that you're not going to burn your face or your scalp. So see how that works for you. Apart from that, I do exactly the same. Now, when I get to the fringe, I do that differently. Maybe you want to dry your hair using the same attachment if you want, but this is my favorite attachment for the fringe. This is perfect to give it the shape that you want. I would just brush it towards the other side and then brush it towards the back, and that's how I get this kind of fringe. That's how I use my Style Brilliance. There's nothing else. Unfortunately, I found out that you can only get this in Australia, but there's a few stores that sell something similar, so I will try to link those in the description. But yeah, if you're in Australia, then run, get this 100%. Let me know in the comments if you find something like this in your country. If you find a set that has these two attachments and this one, I would say don't get it because you're only going to be using this attachment, although this is the best of all of them. But these two are going to be useless in my opinion. Apart from those, all the other attachments are amazing. And yeah, that's my review and my tutorial on how to use it. If you find it useful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!